In San Diego, where winters are typically gentle, offering a soothing break from the year's chaos, December 2019 turned into a nightmare for Elise, an HR manager with 6 years of experience. Known for her professionalism and ability to maintain a positive workplace, Elise prided herself on setting clear boundaries. But when Jeremy joined her team as a project analyst, subtle cracks began to form in her carefully constructed world. Jeremy seemed unremarkable at first, courteous, eager to learn, and a team player. His early compliments were polite, almost expected in a professional setting. "You're so good at running these meetings, Elise, or you make everything look so effortless." Elise, accustomed to fostering a friendly environment, thought little of it, assuming he was just being kind. But as weeks passed, his words took on a more personal tone. One evening, after a grueling staff meeting, Jeremy lingered in her office doorway. "You know, Elise," he said, his voice soft but his gaze intense, "it's hard not to admire someone like you." His smile stretched too long, leaving an uncomfortable weight in the air. Elise forced a laugh, redirecting the conversation to work, but the moment lingered like a shadow. The subtle unease grew when Jeremy asked her out for coffee after hours. "It's just coffee," he said with a disarming grin. Elise, firm in her principles, declined. "I don't date coworkers, it's company policy," she explained, her tone professional but kind. "Of course, I didn't mean to overstep," Jeremy replied, his eyes briefly darkening before he nodded and left. For a few days, the office seemed normal again, and Elise hoped the matter was settled. Then the flowers arrived. A vibrant bouquet of yellow tulips appeared on her desk one morning, accompanied by a handwritten note to the brightest person in the office. Elise assumed it was a gesture of appreciation from a colleague, perhaps for resolving a workplace issue. She smiled and set the flowers aside. But days later, another bouquet arrived, this time with a note that sent a chill down her spine. "You brighten my day more than you know." The signature was unmistakable Jeremy. Elise confronted him privately. "Jeremy, I appreciate the thought, but these gestures need to stop. They're inappropriate." Her voice was steady, but her heart raced. Jeremy's face flushed and he stammered an apology. "I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable," he said, his eyes avoiding hers. For a moment, Elise believed he understood. But the next morning, a single red rose lay on her desk with a note that read, "I can't stop thinking about you." Her stomach churned. This wasn't admiration, it was obsession. She reported the incident to her boss, Diana, who advised caution. "Document everything," Diana said, her tone sympathetic but pragmatic. "If it escalates, we'll act." Elise began keeping a detailed log, but the situation spiraled faster than she expected. One morning, she found her desk drawer slightly ajar. Inside was an envelope containing a photo from the company's recent holiday party, a candid shot of her laughing with colleagues. In the background, Jeremy stood, his gaze fixed on her with an unsettling intensity. The accompanying note read, "You don't belong with them. You belong with me." Her breath caught as fear coiled in her chest. Was he watching her every move? The breaking point came one evening as Elise left work late. The parking garage was eerily quiet, her footsteps echoing off the concrete. As she approached her car, she noticed her windshield wipers bent and the small crack in the driver's side window. Her pulse quickened. Scanning the shadows, she spotted a figure, Jeremy, emerging from the darkness with a sheepish wave. Without hesitation, she locked herself in her car and drove away, her hands trembling on the wheel. She reported the incident to building security, who reviewed the footage but found no clear evidence of Jeremy tampering with her car. The following Friday, Elise stayed late to finalize payroll. The office was silent, save for the hum of her computer. A shadow flickered across the hallway, and her heart skipped a beat. "Hello?" she called, her voice trembling. No response. She crept to the doorway, peering into the empty corridor. Shaking off her paranoia, she returned to her desk only to find a new note on her keyboard. "You shouldn't be here alone." Panic surged through her. She called security, who escorted her to her car. The next day, footage confirmed Jeremy had been in the office after hours. Rifling through her desk, Elise compiled every piece of evidence, notes, photos, footage, and presented it to Diana. The company suspended Jeremy pending an investigation, and Elise filed a restraining order. Though he was eventually terminated, the fear lingered. She varied her routes home, checked her locks obsessively, and jumped at every shadow. Months later, a colleague mentioned Jeremy had left the state and no further incidents occurred. But the experience reshaped Elise's perspective. She had dismissed the early signs as harmless, but they were calculated steps in a dangerous game. The office, once a place of professional pride, now felt like a stage where unseen eyes might still be watching. These stories reveal a haunting truth. Danger often hides in plain sight. From workplace admirers to grocery store shadows, social media stalkers to deceptive delivery men, these encounters remind us to trust our instincts and stay vigilant. Share your own chilling tales in the comments and stay safe, because sometimes the greatest threats are the ones we least expect.